tools for internal communication. You're like totally into these tools.
I'm very into
as the
tools.
president of the company.
Sam is very into tools.
Well, it's interesting because before Sam, we would, we had everything in our brains and some of it on paper, and now everything's sort of becoming more formalized. So let's talk about establishing these processes.
Yeah, when I first joined the team, I sat down at my desk and I looked around and I was like, okay, there's no Slack, nothing set up. How do I communicate with Jason, with Ashley, with Demont? I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I think, when I asked each team member, I think when I asked you, you said, oh, well, I use iMessage. Ashley said iMessage. Demont said email.
Yeah.
Matt said Google Chat. And I was like, okay, first thing, let's install Slack. I think I wrote you like a 3-page proposal on what that would look like.
Whatever.
I really wanted to use Slack. And with that...
you have to get everybody to invest, and everybody has to believe in Slack.
Yeah.
I wasn't really into Slack. I found it so disturbing all day long, but
now you love it, right?
Well, I'll tell you what I like about it now is that I think it's making everybody else communicate better. I can sort of pop in and out of it. I don't have to be a slave to it. But I find it highly distracting as a writer. But yeah, I think for everybody else, it works just wonderfully.
Yeah, great. And before you were touching on the Slack integrations for the data updates. So right now we probably have 15 installed. So a couple of examples of that is we have a Google Analytics integration. So every single morning we get a report on how many people are viewing all of our different websites, and then also how that's tracking against previous weeks, which is really cool. I know Segment has some integrations utilizing Zapier, and also I have a feed coming in when someone applies for a job via like LinkedIn. So we get the resume of the candidate and information like that.
I also like that we see like when somebody signs up for an event or buys a ticket or a sales lead comes in or we're processing deals in our CRM, we can kind of see that stuff in real time. It's a nice way to sort of get up to date on what's happening right now.
Yeah, definitely. And to Ashley's point earlier, you don't have to be, it does limit the communication that's required among the team. It's all, more proactive. So you can just, check, you don't have to be asking everyone on the team like, hey, where are we tracking against this? What's the recent number for this? You just look in Slack, it's all there. The last thing I would say is just to utilize, tools like Asana for checklists. That's what we use as a team for our production schedule. Also utilizing tools like InVision for application design. So, before InVision, it's really just, okay, I'm going to go into Photoshop or whatever and design something and send it off. But InVision has tools where you can, play with the designs in real time and provide feedback and things like that. So InVision is a tool I would highly recommend for that.
Yeah. I've read the checklist manifesto, and it's really great if you're doing something over and over and over again to make a template. Like if you're doing 100 episodes of This Week in Startups, or you're doing 100, investments a year, you can really start to go through your diligence list or other items and make sure you don't miss something. Because even doctors and nurses and pilots and co-pilots, they were crashing planes and killing people because they just didn't follow the basic checklists. In fact, they didn't have checklists. And when they instituted checklists, people stopped dying in hospitals.
It also makes it easy for a teammate to, a team member to come in and help you. They can take a look at your checklist and say, either know how to do whatever your process is, or they can see what you haven't checked yet and they can help.
Sure. When you went on maternity, we were still able to do syndicates. It wasn't all locked in your head.
This is true.
Yeah.